Adjutant online. Building registry.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second premiere episode of the GGvision Starcraft 2 Coliseum with me, Sebastian Sjöberg, and our Gladiator of the week, WhiteRa, better known as WhiteRa, who was our Gladiator yesterday when he faced the German Zerg player Dark Force. Now his challenger of today is Beastyqt, a Terran player from Serbia who's made a name for himself, if for anything, his turtle Terran style. This is not an aggressive Terran opponent in any way. If you're fond of looking at the way TLO play Terran, for example, you will see something quite different today. This guy takes it slow, very steady, and he often wins with it. And WhiteRa, he is of course best known for being whatever he needs to be in any given situation to win, with his special tactics and everything, and we saw definite proof of that yesterday versus Dark Force. But as opponents go, this Beastyqt is very different from yesterday's opponent Dark Force. Not only that he plays Terran, but that he plays in a very different way. You'll see proof of that, I'm sure. I don't know exactly what Beastyqt will do, but I'm sure it will be slow and steady and very grinding. Meanwhile, he's now placing his first barracks, not walling in. This is the TSL3 Metalopolis, and there are many different versions of these maps going around, but the most important thing when it comes to this version of the map is that indeed you cannot spawn in the close starting positions. If you're new to this map, you may think that these are indeed very close starting positions, but as a matter of fact they're not. Yes, they're close by air, but the land traveling distance, as you now see WhiteRa's probe journeying up here to find Beastyqt, is a much further away than from what would be the closest starting position of WhiteRa, for example, here. So this lends itself towards macro games, which is of course what we want to see when the big economy armies clash, and if anything, Beastyqt knows how to build a strong economic advantage slowly and steadily. So we'll see what comes into play. Meanwhile, I take a swig of my casting coffee. Delicious. WhiteRa, meanwhile, has placed his first gateway and cybernetics core now building. It will always be interesting to see what the Protoss player will do after that, now chasing away the scouting SCV of Beastyqt. Maybe he'll be able to inflict some damage or take the gas. No, it doesn't look like it. Of course, Terrans are not as... they can't as easily steal gas as Zerg and Protoss players can, so he'll probably just scout around, see if he can steal some minerals or anything. Meanwhile, WhiteRa is placing pylons all around to give himself scouting, now chasing away the scouting SCV with his first zealot. Meanwhile, Beastyqt is building a Reaper out of his first barracks, has yet to do anything else of significance, but it looks like he's saving up some money, so yes, indeed, a quick command center in his base. This is again very safe. You can see here it is as far away almost as you can come from the expansion that he plans to land it on, but it is again very safely positioned. That will not be threatened in any way. So Beastyqt, playing slow and steady, will be able to expand a bit later, but when he does, he will be safe in doing so. So that's his style. We'll see if it can pay off against the Grandpatoss, who meanwhile has gone and built a quick Twilight Council of his first gateway, only now constructing a second gateway. And the Reaper is out here scouting, wanting to make sure there are no proxy pylon shenanigans anywhere. I'm sure we'll actually be able to intercept this probe, I do believe, yes. So no more scouting for you, WhiteRa. We'll see just what comes out of this Twilight Council here. Will that be a quick Dark Shrine, or will he go for some other tech like Templars? Here we do see, I would predict this to be a Dark Shrine. It would fit quite nicely with WhiteRa's special tactics. Of course, they are quite expensive. Looks like this probe is indeed, yes, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, a Dark Shrine. So, Dark Templars it is. Meanwhile, we again see the trademark of Beastyqt's play, now building a bunker up on his ramp and constructing an orbital command in his base long before he plans to move it out, even building these barracks in a sort of wall position. He can even raise these supply depots. So a defensive player, the most defensive of them all maybe, but that's exactly what Dark Templars are good for, penetrating defenses. We'll see if WhiteRa will Place some proxy pylons across the map, perhaps. Here's one that would enable him to warp in Dark Templars here, decreasing the traveling distance to Beastyqt's base. We'll just have to see what WhiteRa can do. If anyone can poke hole with DTs, it would be WhiteRa. Beastyqt, being no fool, however, makes sure to scout all the hidden locations of his base with this marine, because he knows what his weaknesses are. This is a very fortified position. WhiteRa will not attack into that. Instead, he's taking an expansion because he realizes that his opponent is turtling, as they say, a very defensive Terran. So why not go ahead and take an early economic lead. Now he's constructing Templars, yes, and here he's constructing another proxy pylon that will enable him to warp in Templars more closely. Here we do see the first Templar, but Beastyqt is on top of it, so he's already placed a turret there, and WhiteRa will definitely have to back off or else risk losing his DT. Now you see double bunkers going up, not even having salvaged this one yet, so as defensive as you can get, but maybe that can wear WhiteRa down. We'll just have to see. Now landing his expansion, and this pylon is now complete. WhiteRa meanwhile constructing a robotics facility in his base that will enable him to get observers, colossi, immortals, or warp prisons for further Dark Templar shenanigans perhaps. Here we see the Dark Templar of WhiteRa getting his first kill, second kill, but forced to back off. I doubt he will be able to inflict some serious damage, but definitely holding Beastyqt back. Meanwhile, WhiteRa is taking his third expansion, which is a very good thing to do. If you cannot penetrate the Terran defenses, out-expand him, because he's forced to be defensive, especially with Dark Templars in his base. Now the DT getting a third kill there, but he will be able to do no serious damage with this one. So he'll have to find another way in. That's where this War Prism may come in handy, as we now see building out of the robotic facility. Meanwhile getting Cell at leg speed, since he realizes that he cannot win this by Dark Templars alone. We'll just have to see if WhiteRa can out-macro his opponent. He's yet to construct any further gateways or anything like that. His War Prism is now completed. We'll see what he makes use of that. He's got 4 Dark Templars, 3 of them now being loaded up, the 4th one hiding out here. And well, this is getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, Beastyqt has been boosting his Terran infantry army, getting all the upgrades and definitely going heavy on the infantry side of things. Here 2 Dark Templars killing add-ons, 3 Dark Templars actually, and Beastyqt is on their trail. Now WhiteRa will spread these out as much as he possibly can to see if he can inflict damage all over, because Beastyqt can't be everywhere at once, and he's got a limited amount of scan. He's now building a Raven, which is a very good idea, of course, because what he wants to do is to build medivacs, and now he managed to kill 2 of WhiteRa's Dark Templars. He's got a third one here still. This is just delaying tactics for WhiteRa so that he can out-expand the Terran before he gets enough of an infantry ball to inflict serious damage upon WhiteRa. They are very even in supply. Income-wise, we see that WhiteRa is indeed 10 harvesters ahead of his opponent, and well ahead in the mineral intake. But now the Raven is almost out for Beastyqt, and that should put an end to the Dark Templar harassment in his base. Though, looking at the units lost tab, WhiteRa's lost mortars, those DTs are expensive, but he's definitely managed to hold Beastyqt back, and that's what you want to do with a defensive player. You want to make him more defensive, as we saw Dark Force trying to do to WhiteRa in yesterday's game on Terminus RE. However, that did not go as well, but here we see WhiteRa trying to pin his Terran in, but it seems like Beastyqt has had enough of that, and now he's moving out. His concussive shells not quite ready yet. WhiteRa now adding 2 forges, so we'll be starting his upgrades, and quite a while ago he added another 6 gateways, so that's 7 gateways in total. But units-wise, well, this is the trick. 17 Zealots, 2 Dark Templars, 2 Stalkers versus 38 Marines and 7 Marauders and a Medivac and a Raven. this, ladies and gentlemen, could actually be disastrous for WhiteRa. He has not been able to keep up with the unit production. This is a beautiful timing attack by Beastyqt. WhiteRa has only now completed his 7 gateways, but has yet to pump out the units he needs to counter this. Here you see the strong point of a defensive Terran. Yes, he was pinned back, but he managed to build up his army, and WhiteRa could not keep up with that production. Beastyqt looks like he might be able to take down the Grandpatoss in one disastrous assault. And here's the last Dark Templar. Now it's actually one more, but he won't be able to do much with that Raven. Even put a point defense thrown up, and WhiteRa is forced to GG. Ladies and gentlemen, a turtling defensive Terran can definitely win the game, even against such an honorable foe as the Grandpatoss, who had beautiful Dark Templar play and out-expanded his opponent as you're supposed to do, but you have to keep up with the unit production. Maybe WhiteRa got too greedy when getting this expansion ahead of getting the gateways. He was very late in adding the sort of late game gateway construction facilities that he needed to meet this inevitable counterattack from Beastyqt. This is not a huge army by any means, but it was huge enough to take down WhiteRa during this brief timing window before he got his army up. So there you have it, the Gladiator of the week, WhiteRa, also known as Duckload Ra, got beaten. Hope you enjoy this broadcast, and if you do, feel free to consider subscribing. There will be more and more GGvision commentaries flowing out of this channel. I'm so happy to be back in the game, and I hope you enjoy these casts. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching. GG and out.